If you're new to the channel, hit that like button
Click that notification bell.
and make sure to subscribe. It helps the channel grow and I really appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. Good morning from Xyngular. Now we have a special guest for you. Yun yung magtatahi ng present natin ng products at ng business. At saka, what is there for you in this business? Kasi ito proof talaga ito na may mangyayari sa ating lahat. Pag sumali kayo sa amin, nag-try kayo ng products, you tried the business, kasi ito ang living proof na talagang may kinabukasan tayo sa Xyngular. I will tell you about the promos for this month, but that would be for later. Now we go to the main event. Our special guest speaker from Washington State, USA, Mr. John Medina, Silver Director of Xyngular. Hello,
All right.
John. Take it away.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Hello, everybody from Seattle, Washington, and good to be here, and always good to be a part of this group. And just want to give thanks for having me here. I just want to tell you a little bit about myself, why I'm in this industry, how I got involved, and you know, it's really been quite a journey with this kind of industry and with this type of business. I remember before we had gotten involved in this industry, we had grown up with not much. So we were living in apartments, renting houses, you know, always visiting the doctor. And so my parents, they heard of America as a land of opportunity. So they wanted to see what this land of opportunity was like. And so they came here and they started two businesses, but unfortunately, all they found were struggles. The first business we had was a traditional business with foods, Filipino foods and Oriental goods. And after 3.5 years, we had to close that business. But then also at that time, the real estate market was doing very well in the state of Texas, where we lived at the time. And so everything went really well until the economy crashed. And that was because the oil crashed. And so at that time, everything was hit rock bottom, including us. In fact, if this is zero, here's us right there. And so I remember it was a very difficult time for our family, my parents, me and my brother. And luckily my sister didn't have to go through this, but me and my brother did. And so we went through a difficult time. My parents got involved in a new business in the 80s. And at first I didn't like it because from our previous struggles, mom and dad were working long, hard hours. My mom for the federal government as an accountant, and my dad in the US Army. And so it's like they were never home. It's like we never saw them. And so they got involved in this kind of business. And then all of a sudden it's like they were really never home. It's like we never saw them at all. And so because of that, because I felt like this business was taking time away from my parents, you know, I really didn't like it. But after about 3.5 years of being in this business, big surprise came along. And so I'll tell you a little bit more about that. But what I want to share with you is that just the lifestyle that we started living because of this business after those 3.5 years really made me reconsider what this business was about. So I decided to take a look, and what I saw was something that was truly remarkable. I saw a caring company that wants us to live longer, look and feel better, a vehicle by which anyone can make their dreams come true. It doesn't matter, you know, where you were at in life or where you're at right now. But what matters is what you can do going forward. And so this business the business that I saw then really gave us that opportunity. And now with Xyngular, I saw that same opportunity, but really with something special. And I want to, you know, kind of tell you a little bit about what Xyngular has done for us most recently. And so I'd like to share with you my family here. So this is my family here, and this is my wife. My wife is a registered nurse, and we were in Rome here. And this is us with our 2 sons at the dinosaur park. So one of the things that Xyngular really, you know, has given us is our health. And I truly believe that health is wealth, because you can have everything in the world, right? You can have everything, but if you don't have your health, then really all you have is nothing, right? And so, of course, my wife, being a registered nurse, you know, she at that time felt like she knew a lot about nutrition, you know, saw vitamins, you know, all the vitamins is the same. But it wasn't until she started taking these supplements for herself. And then when she was pregnant with our first son, really taking the vitamins because, you know, she wanted him to be healthy, she found out that these vitamins were really the real deal, you know. And so it was kind of funny because at the start of the pregnancy, she was taking these vitamins that were prescribed by the doctor, right? She was in the UK at the time, and so they had a particular, you know, natal formula, you know, vitamins. So I just kind of showed her like, hey, take a look at the back of this and take a look at the back of this, right? And so when she looked at them, she saw that that our vitamins, you know, had a whole lot more, right? So she started taking them. She started feeling better. You know, she went through the day. She was able to still do her shift with so much energy. And, you know, she'd come home at the end of the day. And usually before she was taking her vitamins, she'd have like a swelling in her feet, right? But then when she was taking our vitamins, right, she didn't have that swelling that much. You know, she had a really good appetite, you know, and our kids came out very healthy, right? That was our first son. And then, of course, with our second son, you know, it was the same thing. But by this time, of course, she's a believer in our vitamins. And so our second son, you know, came out wonderfully healthy again, you know, and so we are blessed because these vitamins have really, you know, supported our health and made sure that we can enjoy the time with our kids and, you know, enjoy our time as well, you know, in the things that we do. And so that's one way that Xyngular has been able to influence my family in the present day, you know. And then here's my brother and his wife, Ashley, and they live in New York. My brother and Ashley, they have a practice, Oriental medicine practice over there, acupuncture, and doing really well. And the reason my brother decided to get into acupuncture and Oriental medicine was precisely because of this kind of business. And so that's how this business really influenced him, is that he wanted to help people and heal people, you know, in a very similar way that our products have been doing. And then this is my sister with her husband, Dr. Eric Lee. And here they're in their honeymoon picture here in France, of course, Paris, right? And one of the things that my sister has is a psychology degree. And the reason she went into psychology, she works in finance, right? Because that's where all the money's at, literally, right? But the reason she went into psychology for her studies is because of this business. Because one of the components of this business is that there's a very high level of personal development here in this business. And I'll talk a little bit about that. But one of these things that our business really gave us was this whole lifestyle change that I mentioned. So we moved into a 5,300 square foot home in just outside of Seattle, Washington. And this right here, this picture that you're looking at here of the house in the springtime was featured in the Working at Home magazine, which was one of the by the editors of Success magazine. And so to be able to be featured in that kind of magazine, you know, along with my parents who were, you know, just really successful in this industry, you know, and have been really successful in this industry and still are, you know, it's just really been something very special. And, you know, to know that you're in a magazine, you know, and so many people have, you know, read the story, you know, and things like that. And just to be able to live here, because one of the things that we love about living here is that even though we're very close to the city, we're just outside of Seattle, we also have nature too. And so we have our special mountain, Mount Rainier, that's in the here in Washington State, and we get to see it from every bedroom of our window, you know. And it's really a blessing to see that mountain because it's so beautiful, and to have that nature, to be able to walk in the nature, to be able to enjoy the trees, the fresh air, the clean air. It's really a blessing. Plus, to be so close to the city as well is also another blessing. And so this was one of our lifestyle changes. We started driving the fancier cars like Lexus, Mercedes, BMW, Cadillac, traveling worldwide. And also our health had improved. And so, having said all of this, and now looking at Xyngular going forward, we're here really at a very special time because Xyngular is doing amazing things. We're one of the fastest growing companies in direct sales. Just last year, we hit 171 million in revenue, which put us at number 53 in the top 100 direct selling companies in the world. And so one of the most special things is for us here in the Philippines, because even though Xyngular is an 11-year-old company, in the US and in Canada, in the Philippines, it's only 4 years old. And so that really means that Xyngular is a ground floor opportunity for us in the Philippines. And ground floor opportunities like this with a company that is stable and solid and is continually moving forward, to have a ground floor opportunity in a company like this, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And so really going forward, I have high confidence in Xyngular that you're gonna start seeing some very special things going forward. And the reason really is because Xyngular is a very simple business, okay? What we have here is we have the company, and the company, of course, is a stable company, 11 years old around the world. We have some of the top management in our corporate headquarters in Lehi, Utah. Some of the top management, as you've already seen, especially with Mr. Russell Fletcher. But not only there, but also in the Philippines. We have Miss Beth Anyana, we have Sir Bonds, and we have all of the people from those in the front desk to those in the warehouse. And I've known all of those people for numbers and numbers of years, sometimes even decades. And they are the best people you will ever meet. They are always so happy. They are always there, ready to support you, ready to support the distributors and the business partners in the field, and even just the regular users, right? The casual users. The company is still there to support them. So we have an amazing company that's doing amazing things. We also have amazing products as well. And so the products really are products of science. These products are always being improved whenever we have the best, the new technology and the new science, we incorporate it into the product so that our products are always on top of the leading edge, right? And so these products have literally given people their lives back, right? It helped me and my wife to have wonderful and healthy kids, right? But it's also helping me and my wife to enjoy our time with those kids. And it's helping my parents, their grandparents, enjoy their grandkids as well. So another thing was my grandfather ended up living to be almost 100 years old because these products really helped him with a number of things, with his arthritis and his gout. His brain and his memory were still, fantastic for his age. And so these products are really amazing and doing amazing things. And then we have the financial opportunity, which really levels the playing field. If you look at some of the richest people and richest families in the Philippines today, to do the kinds of things they're doing, like to open a SM, shoe mart, right? Or to open a landmark, or to, gold place? I'm trying to remember, but to open any of these things and do what those millionaires and billionaires are doing in the Philippines really requires a lot of money. But our financial opportunity really levels that playing field, because just for a very small investment, we have sky's the limit kind of opportunity, right? If you were to try to, copy, Mr. John Gokongwei, right? or the C family and try to copy what they're doing, you'd have to take out a loan for billions and billions of pesos, right? But here, our really small, less than 50,000 pesos investment, and you can have the kind of income that can put you at the level, very similar to what the top 1% of Filipinos, the top 1% of the Filipino earners are doing, which is amazing. And not just 1% of the Philippines, but 1% in the entire world, okay? And so this financial opportunity really allows us, and it really rewards us helping each other. Other financial opportunities there, it encourages a lot of competition between people. But with our financial opportunity, one of the most wonderful things is that it encourages people to work together. Because when we work together, then everybody gets a bigger check. Everybody gets more money. And so I really love that with our financial opportunity. In fact, with this financial opportunity, it was able to allow me to go to school. After I saw the opportunity before, and because of our lifestyle change, right? We brought this to the Philippines. My parents had brought this to the Philippines. So I came over to help. And this was in the 2000s. And doing it in the 2000s, helping to build a business in the Philippines, right? Finally, after 6 years or so, I decided I want to go back to school because for us Filipinos, education is really important, right? And so we love education. We know the value of education. And so I went and I got my bachelor's degree in theology and sociology. And I completed that in 3 years. And for most people of my classmates were taking 4, 5, 6 years just to complete that. After I completed my bachelor's degree, I decided I wanted to get my master's degree. So I went back to school again immediately after finishing my first degree. And I completed that degree in 3 years. And so 6 years total, whereas most people are taking anywhere from 8 to 10 years just to finish those 2 degrees. And it was because of this business, I didn't have to work while I was studying. I didn't have to worry about the bills, right? Where the money's going to come from. I didn't even have to worry about, how am I going to have dinner, right? Or lunch, right? How am I going to have lunch or dinner, right? But it was through this business and through this industry that I was able to just focus on my studies and concentrate on them, and be able to do well and finish those degrees. And so I'm really, I really am indebted to this industry and to Xyngular. And then when my wife was pregnant with our first son, of course, as I mentioned, she was in the UK, and I was able to fly there for 4 months to help her, and we didn't have to worry about, if her salary was, going to be enough because, and if I could pay my bills and all of those things, right? It was because of this company, because of this business here, because of Xyngular, that I was able to live in London, which is one of the most expensive cities in the world. And it was thanks to Xyngular and the money that it provided for us. And so these 3 parts right here are I would say they're constant. They're always getting better, but for the most part, let's just say they're constant. The variable here is me and you, right? And with Xyngular, I love it because it's all about you. Because in Xyngular, they want us to become more. Because if you look at the people who are now living their dream life, they have the wealth that they want or the income that they want, they have the health that they want, right? If you look at those people, where they're at now, but what it took for them to get there, they're completely different people from when they started here to where they are now. They are completely different people. And it's because they had gone through this process of becoming more. Well, that's what happens in Xyngular too. I mentioned personal development and the personal growth that you find. In Xyngular, when you start to reach your dreams and goals because of the tools that we have here, you become a different person. you become more than you were when you first started. And so that's what I really love here. So many Filipinos are architects, right? And great architects, because when you put good tools in the hands of great architects, you produce great things, right? And so for us Filipinos, we have the tools right here, the company, the products, and the financial plan. And so we have the great tools. It's up to you and me to put them to use, right? They say that opportunity never passes away. Opportunity just passes from one person to the next. And so this opportunity is now here in front of you, and you were looking at it and you heard about it. And so my question to you is, what are you going to do with this opportunity, with these tools that you've been presented with today, to make your future and to make your life and to make that a reality in your life? So I want to thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and to listen to us.
Do it. If you enjoyed this video and you learned something, make sure to hit that like button and don't leave without subscribing. Feel free to share this with your friends and family as well and tag them in the comments below.